Hi, I'm Sarah from BMS Wellness. I thought I'd do a video today on wellness because the whole channel is about wellness. Yeah, I had a birthday about a month ago. I turned 55, beginning of October. And as is my usual habit, I spend some time reflecting on how my year went. And 2020, well, let's just skip that whole thing. Yeah, it was great. It was great. But no. Actually, I've been working very hard on wellness since I was, 20 years old. So 35 years of trying to achieve wellness. And I'm closer, but not quite there. So let's do a bit of a history. When I was 7-ish, I do remember having a lot of gut ache, like I was bruised in my gut every time I ate bacon and eggs. So every Sunday, I felt bruised gut, listless, aches and pains in my joints, and I just didn't have any will to go outside and play like a 7-year-old should. So that was odd. And then I remember a few years later having a lot of what I called lightning bolts in my head, burning, searing, lightning bolt type pain, and it was diagnosed as neuralgia. And neuralgia really just means Latin for nerve pain. Yay, Western medicine. Thanks. Now I know Latin for nerve pain. But still, I'm in pain. But nothing could be done, so we go forward. My teenage years kick in, and I have hormones happen, and then the digestion just went 6 ways sideways like you'd never believe. And it was nothing but pain and bloating. I remember being a virgin and people accusing me of being pregnant, 6 months pregnant, because I was so bloated just from eating a bagel and cream cheese. Yeah, go to university. I go for a physical with my first doctor in university, and she decides that my skin, which had one little pimple that I get every month for my period, was a disaster, and that I needed 2,000 milligrams a day of tetracycline to keep my skin in check because it's full of bacteria. So yeah, 17, 18, 19, lots of years of antibiotics, and now we know what that does for digestion. So if I didn't have good digestion to begin with, well, now we know why it's all screwed up, right? Well, about 22, I decided to take myself off all my meds and go see a naturopath, go see some nutritional consultants, and I adopted the attitude that food is medicine. And I still, to this day, believe that. 34 years later, I still believe food is medicine. We just have to get good food and maybe good soil, but that's a whole other discussion. At any rate, I started seeing naturopaths, nutritionists. I was the best patient you could ever want. I did exactly what they told me. I became a vegetarian because that was the best diet. And then I became a vegan because that was a much better diet. And then I was a raw vegan because that was the best diet, because for the enlightened and spiritual people, you got to be a raw vegan. But you know what? At one point I realized, wait a minute, whoever created this whole shit show really probably didn't differentiate between the cow and the carrot. Life is life. And for one life to live, another life has to die. So why is the cow more important than the carrot? I don't know. But I was a vegan because I thought and I believed it was the best and healthiest way to live. Yes, and then I got into the probiotics. I ate probiotics till the cows came home, and I didn't eat the cow because I was a vegan. And still, my health got much, much, much worse. Now, by the time I was 44, on a raw vegan diet, practicing yoga, hot yoga no less, 6 days a week, walking every night for 6 kilometers, and doing Pilates 3 days a week, I reached 190 pounds. Folks, 190 pounds eating 800 calories of kale per day. How does that happen? Something was wrong. Yeah, something was very wrong. By the time I was 42, I had received the following diagnoses: neuralgia, ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, duodenal ulcer, that was 31, I had ulcers, fibromyalgia at 35, and then at 52, I was diagnosed with SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Well, since I was eating probiotics till the cows came home for 10 years, that was no surprise, right? But I suspect I actually had SIBO going on before even starting with the very first naturopath. And maybe that's why taking so many antibiotics in my early 20s actually gave me a lot of hunger, which a lot of people didn't get. And with me, I got very hungry eating antibiotics. Probably because I was getting rid of some extra bacteria and making some room in there for food. At any rate, none of that worked. The entire time I believed if I just eat right and exercise, I will age gracefully and with no pain, and I will look young forever. Yeah, not. I've been exercising my whole life. I've been eating right. I've been doing everything I'm told, and I just got so much worse. So what happened? I went back to school and I became a naturopath, because then I thought, not a naturopath, I became an osteopath. I went back to school to become an osteopath, because then I decided if I know what's going on, I might be able to self-diagnose if I understand anatomy and physiology to a deep medical level. And then maybe if I know what's going wrong with me and my gut, then maybe I can heal myself. And then I could have a beautiful life going forward. Well, that was the dream 12 years ago, and I'm still working on it. But yeah, that didn't work out. Mind you, with my education, I have learned enough to be able to actually do medical grade research and understand a little bit more about my condition. So for the last 5 years, I have been researching gut microbiome in depth. And when I thought I should do a nutrition course to understand how I could use food as medicine, I realized you can't do that. There is no cookie cutter nutritional program that fits everybody. There isn't one, because we each have an individual gut microbiome, just like we have an individual fingerprint. It's so unique. Your nutritional pattern will be very unique. I mean, I know I've done it all. I've done the gluten-free, lactose-free diet. That wasn't the issue. I've done the paleo diet, the autoimmune paleo diet, the keto diet, the specific carbohydrate diet, the SIBO diet, the low FODMAP diet. I even have done a low residue diet, which was kind of my favorite because it involves a lot of pizza and beer, if you're okay with that. But in the end, low residue is not the best either. But it was a break for my gut. So here I am now. I've developed an exercise program so that I can continue to keep my body mobile and decrease the pain that I deal with into my 50s, 60s, 70s, and my golden years. And I have also developed a plan for how to treat my gut. I will be using some gut microbiome assessment protocols in order to figure out what's going on with my gut and to adjust my diet accordingly. And so I am using this channel to document the journey with exercise, rehabilitation of all the body parts and all the bits that broke in the last workout, because that happens on a regular basis with people like you and me. Yes, and if you're menopausal, that's just even worse. As soon as the menopause kicks in, the muscles go out the door. Nothing works after that. And when they tell you to decrease your caloric intake and increase your cardiovascular exercise, make yourself sweat and you'll lose weight, that's wrong. That's a lie. That does not work. And for all those men out there who claim that they are the expert on women endocrinology and how to train old ladies and give them six-pack abs, y'all don't know what's going on. Right? It doesn't work. And the advertising that I see, the 35-year-old men that claim they're experts, they're giving us 20-year-old models with six-pack abs are claiming that, yes, they know what's going on. Well, no, you don't. Because if you can give a 55-year-old like me six-pack abs, then maybe I would concede that you know something, but I don't believe it. All right? So I'm going to figure this out, girls. I'm going to figure this out for all of us ladies that are in this boat struggling with things like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. Just menopause is bad enough to struggle with. I will figure this out. So hang with me. We'll get this working out. And that's my journey to wellness so far. Hang in there, because this is the channel that I'm using to document my journey. Next time, I'm going to talk about the microbiome and nutrition. So what's going on in your shit is all about what you need to know. All right? Next time.